Hey everyone, I just finished reviewing the SIBs for the Education 290 class, and there were a few edits that I kept making over and over again. So I thought it would be good if I put a video together real quick for you before you start your final version of your SIB. And so this is mostly focusing on formatting, and it's some formatting errors I kept saying over and over again on the 290 papers. So first off, this is your header for the first page. You can switch here and view the whole page. That's what it looks like when you're done. You'll notice I have all these markings showing, and those are called non-printing characters. They're here under the Home tab, and you can select them on or off here. And I'm not going to, I might go a little bit quickly, and that's because you can always pause and go back. I would expect that you would watch this video with notes, paper, and take notes either on the computer or by hand or whatever, but pausing the video and to write your notes down so you can keep those in mind as you're doing your final draft of your SIB. So to keep it brief, I will kind of go through everything with the understanding that you can always pause and rewind. So I prefer to work with my non-printing characters on because it shows you anything that's strange with your formatting behind the scenes. And so here I can see that there's single spacing here and double spacing here. But the reality is when this goes away, it doesn't matter. In the header, it is important because it shows me here that this is, it has a tab, a right tab set up, so it's always going to be flush right, which it should be. So let's go in and view a little more closely. So this is gray because it's the header. If I double click here, or I can always right click edit header. And now I'm in, oops, I jumped to the second page. Here's the first page. So you can see you have running head, lowercase, and then all caps, statement of informed beliefs, and then SIB1 here is all you need. And this I'm going primarily off the sample that I gave you from CSI. This is close to being true APA, but the person who taught this class for CSI, which I patterned my class after, has made a few tweaks to the APA style, I think. So I'm going to go through it with her changes in mind. If you write it in the correct APA format from the book instead of hers, I will still give you credit, but so I guess there's sort of a few tweaks here and there that I'm going to be flexible about, I guess is the point of that. But I'd like to stay as close to APA as possible. So lowercase, all uppercase, and then SIB1. Here is where you select different first page, and that enables you to have this on the same line as your page number. A lot of times I'll see people use this one and they'll have the running head down here, and it's not in the header anymore, so it doesn't show up anywhere but the first page, and people think, oh, that's perfect, but it's not correct because this needs to be on the same line with that. And I know that's being really picky, but you're going to have graduate professors that are that picky. So that's why I'm taking a few minutes here to show it to you. Make sure this, when you click on it, it should go gray like that because it's a field and it's put here with page number. That's how you get that one in there. Don't type a 1, it'll be a 1 on every page. I can click here and close the header and footer, and now I'm back in the body. And so it's gray. Alright, coming down here to this chunk of information on your cover page, it should look just like this. Your name will go here, Student of Awesomeness, or Student Awesomeness. My name, the class, and then of course it will say Spring 2012. And then you'll want to make sure that it is balanced, somewhat similar to this, where all the text is sort of just right below the halfway mark. Okay, going on to the second page. So because we have this box checked, on the second page we can start the header and it will stay this way throughout the paper. So it'll be SIB 2, 3, and 4 on the subsequent pages. Alright, back into the body. You have a title here in regular font. You have a short introduction. Your subheads are all italicized. And you need to note 2 theorists in the paper. And when you do, please bold and underline it so it'll catch my eye as I'm grading. And that way you can make sure that you get credit for referencing 2 theorists. You also need to have 15 terms that are bold and underlined throughout the text. So make sure that you are integrating the text with your personal beliefs on all of these questions. Other than that, it's fairly standard formatting. 1 inch all the way around, 1/2 inch indent on the paragraphs, double spaced. Here's another subhead. Each one of these are the titles of your journals. And see here, if you didn't have that space, you wouldn't see that she has an extra space before her first sentence starts there. And so really, it should be taken away. Each one of these little circles are a space between the word. So that's why I think when you're done writing it, you should turn your non-printing characters on and really take a fine-tooth comb through your paper. Check for any kind of strange formatting. I would also recommend that you email a couple people in the class and see if they'll be willing to proofread or swap and proofread, or use the online writing lab and send them your final version for a proofread. It's always good to have a couple people look it over. Let's talk about numbers briefly. So this is correct. 20 to 25 is correct. Any numbers 1 to 9 are words. So 1 is O-N-E. And then 10 and above is a number. So you'd actually use the number 10 for 10 or above. An easy way to remember it is single digits are words. Double digits are always numbers. And the only exception is that if it's the first word in a sentence, like it's 25 people came to the event, that was your sentence, 25 would be written out as a word. So as long as it's not the first word and it's 2 digits, it's numbers. Otherwise, it is the word. All right, I believe those were the main points. When you're citing something, let's get here to a citation. It's important they use the punctuation correct around your citing. I'm not saying anything, but let's say if this was something out of the textbook. Right? She was going to cite something out of Burns. You can put a comma here, and if it was quotes, you would put a comma there. Like if it was something like this, and she's quoting directly from the text, the commas inside the quotes, space, the author, the page number, in parentheses, and then the period is always on the outside. If this was just a statement coming from the text, you know, I always feel like there needs to be a comma here, and then the period outside here. And that's just something straight from APA. So you can check that out on owl.com or in the APA book. Okay, I believe that is all. Let's take a look at the references here. This is done correctly, and I would highly recommend using EasyBib or bibme.org. Both of those give good citations. The last thing I'm going to look at here is on the web page, right? So you go to Assignments, Statement of Informed Beliefs folder. And so if you haven't already, make sure that you watch this overview here. Let me shrink it down so you can actually see it. Make sure you watch that overview, which talks about the rubric. And here is your assignment overview if you haven't looked at that before. And then I have a couple of samples you can take a look at. This sample is probably one of the most useful because it goes through and it has really everything I've just told you, but it's in writing in case that's more helpful for you to learn. Seeing it written down rather than hearing it verbally. But this and what I've just done with you are basically the same. And then here's your rubric. That's how it'll be graded. And then I threw in a couple more samples, 2 more samples at the bottom. Okay, I look forward to reading your SIBs, and I can't wait to hear your ideas, and I hope you have strong support for each one of your ideas. And the essays are well organized, and those are the main things I'm looking for. If you have any questions, please email me. Thanks.